Hi everybody, it's ThomasWoodenRailway here, and as you guys know by the title, this is a video of my brand new ThomasWoodenRailway layout that is hopefully going to be used for the entire Season 9, but I'm not making any guarantees on that because I've said that before and it hasn't really worked out. So anyway, I'm just here to show you guys this new layout that's going to be used in Season 9, of course, and then also probably a couple of movies. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, as you guys can tell, no turntable here, and so this will look really reminiscent of my Season 7 layout just right now. And before I go into any more detail, I just want to let you guys know that, as you guys know, I've been off YouTube for a while, so my layout making skills aren't really the best. So I didn't really slack off, but I just kind of used a new idea where I would kind of take the best of everything from all my previous layouts and put it into one. So this is not my best layout because it doesn't really have anything new in it, but I also think it's a pretty good layout. So guys, let me show you this sheds area. So as you guys can tell, I've gotten the new tint in the sheds, and that will be featured in my new movie Sodor's Last Stand. And then also, I made the sheds bigger by including the works shed, and then these two sheds right here where Duck and Oliver are. And like I did in Season 7, I just reversed the turntable, so this is where the shed would normally go, but instead I've just put sidings over here. So back at the shed here, we have Thomas, Percy, James, Henry, and Toby resting. And this other shed over here, we got Donald and Douglas. And a lot of you guys would say, well, why don't you put Gordon and Edward in the shed? And the reason I did this is because, well, they're twins. They look really nice together in the shed. So that's why I did that. And then same thing over here, I decided to put the Great Western engines in this shed too. And unfortunately, I didn't have any room for Toad. But Toad will be featured on another part of the layout. And then Gordon and Edward are over here because they're the oldest and, they can sleep outside once in a while. And then over here are kind of my supporting characters. We got Daisy, that's Ben, Rosie, Bill, and Boko. And Hector is back here, but he's not really going to be a main character. I just put him back there with Rosie as kind of a reference to Hector the Horde. So this right here, guys, is the Season 9 Steam Team. Now, there are 3 other engines I would consider the Steam Team that aren't here. One of them would be Mavis, and Mavis, as you guys will see in the layout, is working at the Quarry. And then the other 2 would be Diesel and Salty, and they are working at the docks right now. So that's why. So anyway, like I usually do, oh, and here's your top hat. Like I usually do, I'll go up and show you guys the entire layout. Now this layout, like I said, is kind of the best of everything. So you're going to see a lot of stuff that you've seen before. But I still think it's a pretty good layout. It's not my best. I think my best would either be the layout that I was going to use for Wheels of Fortune, or the layout that or my Season 7 layout, pretty much. Those were my best. So this layout, as you can see, it's big, but because it's really drawn out. I have a lot of space in here where I can step. It's really nice because in some of my layouts, they're really tight and I can't go anywhere. So I'll just show you guys the outer part of my layout over here. And like I always do, I'll go into more detail about the rest of the layout in just a bit. But, so give you guys kind of a close view right here. And like I always do, let's start at Ellsberg Station. So at Ellsberg Station right now, we got Stepney, Stanley, Hank, and Molly, and they're all pulling different trains, as you can see, because the regular engines are at the shed right now. So Stanley and Stepney are pulling my 2 Knapford Express coaches. Hank has the Express, and Molly has Old Slow Coach. Here are some passengers, and Old Style Birdie. So that's Ellsberg Station. And, well, let me just widen out here for a sec. Let's see about this. So this track over here, where Stepney's on, loops around to the brown turntable there, and I'll get there in a sec. The line that Stanley's on and that Hank is on just comes into one, and I hate using the V switches at Ellsberg Station because I think it looks, boring and everything, and I don't like my layouts to be boring. But I didn't have another way for any of the other tracks to go. So I had to do this in order to save me some track. And then Molly's line loops around here, and then this part is similar to my Season 7 layout. It also did the same thing. And over here by Henry's Tunnel is Neville with the zoo cars. Originally I had the Hat Street crossing right here, so that Lori and Bertie could go through. But then in order to save some more track, I just built like this ramp right here. And Lori and Bertie can go through that as well. And the crossing is over there, and I'll go back to that in a sec. So this part right here is very familiar in most of my layouts. A user on here named Percy number 6 first used this in one of his layouts, and I thought it was a really, really good idea. So I use it as well. It's just where you come from Knapford Station up to Henry's Tunnel. Originally, I wanted the engines to be facing this way, so when they took off from the station, they would go up Henry's Tunnel. But then it just worked better that they would just go that way instead. So this is kind of the back where they all come in. And this part right here where it's Gordon's Hill and or Gordon's Hill, but it was manufactured, merchandised as the Mountain Tunnel. It's called the Mountain Tunnel, but I call it Gordon's Hill. This right here is reminiscent of my Season 4 layout, the one that I used for most of Season 4, because I had 2 Season 4 layouts, but the one I used the most where it just comes from Gordon's Hill, loops around, and goes to Henry's Tunnel. So that's where that's reminiscent of, and then it connects right over there. This line, the lower line where Emily is on, just goes to Knapford Station as well. I'm going to head back to the brown turntable now and show you guys what's there. So, of course, somewhere on my layout I have to put my narrow gauge engines, and so this is where I decided to put them. Here we got Scarloey, Rheneas, Sir Handel, Peter Sam, Rusty, Duncan, Fearless Freddy, Ivo Hugh, Duke, Mighty Mac, Smudger, Proteus, and Bertram. And as I said before, well, I don't know if I said this in my ThomasWoodenRailway discussions, but Proteus and Bertram will not be used in my series as of right now just because I don't need them. But it's almost like Madge is like, hey guys, I found Proteus the magical engine, so I just threw that in there to make it all even. And then I also threw Bertram in there to make it all even with 2 engines behind each other. So that's where that comes in. If you go up this way, this is Billy. He's pulling some troublesome trucks, and then it loops around back here. And then over here, from this line, you get to my 3-way switch, and then this 3-way switch goes into the other 3-way switch. And then this is my yard. This is reminiscent of my Season 8 layout in my room, where I did the same thing. So Annie, Clarabelle, and Henrietta are here because obviously Thomas and Toby are at the shed. We got the breakdown cranes and the animal train. This line over here will lead to the docks, and then back to the sheds. And then this line over here, since, this is a main line right here, I had to have the track go somewhere. So this goes through this tunnel, specifically for the airport, and goes back onto the main line where the airport is. And then here is Arthur pulling the waterworks cars and Jeremy at the airfield, or at the airport, excuse me. And this right here is a control tower that came with the Jeremy and the airfield set, but it also could double as a signal box, so that's why I put that there. So it's really cool. And then here's the Hat Street crossing, as I was talking about. And then I won't go into this right now, but then that track meets the cross, and that track goes to the docks, and then this track will go over to Ellsberg Station. But I'm going to backtrack right now and go down the Quarry Mine Tunnel here. One of the things that I brought back into this layout was the Quarry Mine Tunnel and the oil depot, because I haven't really used them in the past. And so this line over here goes to Spencer's private shed. If you guys remember from my episode, Sir Spencer of Sodor, Spencer was complaining to the Duke and Duchess that he wanted his own shed, and he finally got one. So that's kind of what that is. And then coming down the Quarry Mine Tunnel over here, we have Ari, Dennis, and Bert. And I think this is the first layout ever that Ari and Bert are working on. I think Dennis has been working in the past, but I mean, that's kind of interesting because usually Ari, Bert, and Diesel are plotting, but I decided to include them in this layout. So, and then we have the pack over here. Come around this way. That will lead over there, and this is where it gets complicated. So I'll go back here. The middle track, right here, goes to my 2 Sodor Bay bridges. Up the incline where Coldy is, because Coldy always has to be on the viaduct since he's a mountain engine. And then this right here is kind of a reference to my episode Wilbert, Frank, and the Milk, where Wilbert and Frank had to pull milk. So that I just did that right there. And then this is where, like I said before, it gets complicated because I have multiple switches over here. Because when I got done with this layout, like done, I had a lot of switches left over and I didn't know what to do with them. So I added switches over here, and there's Fergus. And then there's switches over here, and then more switches over here. So this is what you could say is the switch yard. I'll widen out again. I really like this part of the layout where the two lines are going under the viaduct. That just seems like very classy. I don't know why. It just makes me feel that way. It makes the layout seem like it's a normal railway rather than just a wooden railway layout. Here's Fergus, like I said, with the construction cars. This is the back part of the quarry. I'll go around and show you guys it better in a sec. And then, like you guys saw before, I'm using the new tin mist sheds. So here are the old tin mist sheds, or just the regular sheds. You know what? It's just kind of like two sheds at the end of the line, and it works well. So, and unfortunately, I didn't have any space for the other turntable or enough sidings, so that the red turntable is not being used. You come over this hill, and this is something new to my layouts. Here's Murdoch going around from like the exact track that he was on. So the track goes over, then you can switch and go under it. And then this is kind of a reference to the TV series. Here we have Hero in the siding, lost and found hero, waiting for someone to rescue him. And then here is the fire station. The fire station is very busy now. Here's Mike pulling the fire engine. This is old number 36, I believe. Yes, 36. And then these are the two new fire engines that I've gotten. And I'm just saying, I don't know if I will, but if I do get Bell and Flynn, this place will be very busy. It'll be like a true fire station. This line wraps around here, and then there's Toad, like I said. He is being pulled by Whiff, along with my three gray troublesome trucks. And then we'll run back around here, and I'll show you guys Ellsberg Station. So this line right here goes to the switches there, and Derek is coming from the T-switch up to Gordon's Hill. And now, here is the front part of the quarry. Like I said, Mavis, I had to have somebody working at the quarry, so I put Mavis here, but she'll still be a main character. Thumper and Boulder. The only drawback to this layout is I don't have any sidings for the quarry. It's just like a straight shot through, so that's a drawback, but oh well. And then we head to Ellsberg Station here, just a classic Ellsberg Station look. Whiff is about to arrive. Bulgy is here with some passengers. Sir Topham Hatt's also here. And nothing real special about this. Also, I'll venture back over here, and this is the back part of the airfield, but like I said in my episode Runaway at the Runway, I said that Sir Topham had upgraded this to an airport, but I realized when I was building this, I was like, you know what, there's no room for Tiger Moth over there because Jeremy takes up the airport, so it's almost like Sir Topham Hatt just built an airport like he did in Calling All Engines. So there's Derek. It loops back around, and here's Billy. So we have one more area to cover, and that's the docks. The docks are reminiscent of also my Season 8 layout. And as you can see, we got Colin and Cranky facing each other, kind of like we always do. There's Diesel. He's working finally. In all my other layouts, he's just been sitting in there as well. A signal, and then this is how it's reminiscent. We got Harvey and Rocky coming back here. Unfortunately, I didn't have any more switches, so I couldn't do a siding off to that area. The Sodor Bay tugboat is about to go through the bridge. And then over here, I know I already used Hero, but I needed another engine that looks strong. So here's regular Hero pulling the Cookie Factory cargo cars, and Bolstro's about to deliver a package. So anyway, guys, that's my layout. Like I said before, I think it's an alright layout. You know, it's not my best, but I definitely could have done a lot worse on it. So I'm pretty proud of this layout. I hope you guys will see it, you know, for the entire, you know, season 9. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please just let me know. I hope you guys don't have any concerns. But anyway, this is ThomasWoodenRailway signing off, and thanks for watching this video.